Hi and welcome. I'm so excited you're here today for one of my most popular trainings, the 3 secrets to building a thriving photography business with Google Ads. I know you're going to learn so much about how to build a profitable photography business by focusing on attracting the right clients through Google Ads. The fact that you showed up here for this training tells me one thing. You're serious about growing your photography business and you're ready to try something that actually works. And I seriously can't wait to share it with you. So first of all, if we haven't met before, my name is Lindsay Herkert. Here's just a little bit about me so you know who you're learning from today. I've been in the family photography business for over a decade, and in that time I've actually built my business twice, but not the same way. The first time was in San Diego, where I grew up. My business grew organically through friends, family, and referrals, the way we're often told to start. And maybe that works for some photographers, but I found it exhausting and even a little soul-crushing. Friends and family often saw me as a hobbyist or acted like they were doing me a favor by hiring me. In late 2017, we unexpectedly moved to Austin and I had to leave that business behind. Suddenly, I was starting over completely with no network, no clients, and no one who knew I was a photographer. When we moved, I decided if I was going to rebuild, I was going to do it better, with systems, strategy, and clients who valued my work. I wanted to build a photography business that actually worked for me, not one that left me stressed out, burned out, and underpaid. So I signed up for a few photography business workshops to help get started. But I was honestly disappointed. Most of what I heard was vague advice and fluffy pep talks, nothing actionable. Ironically, the best tip I got wasn't from an instructor. It was from another photographer sitting next to me at lunch at one of these workshops. And when I implemented her advice, everything changed. Once I implemented it, my business started thriving with dream clients, higher prices, and a calendar I controlled. Fast forward 7 years and I've created a photography business I truly love. One that keeps me booked, allows me to turn away clients when I need to, and earns me even more than I thought possible, all while letting me prioritize my family. Since learning that one transformative tip, I've become a little obsessed with helping other photographers skip the messy trial and error phase I went through. Now I help photographers build businesses that are sustainable, profitable, and actually attract clients who value what you do. With over a decade of photography experience, a marketing degree from SDSU, and years as a former marketing director, I've combined everything I've learned about photography and marketing into one mission: teaching other photographers how to market effectively and build the business of their dreams. Before we dive into the 3 secrets, I want to address something. There's this common myth that photographers just need to get good at using their cameras, start posting their work online, and boom, their business will grow on its own. And sometimes that does work, but for most of us, it's not sustainable. I built my first business this way and it was exhausting. Friends and family aren't always your ideal clients. They see you as a hobbyist or feel like they're doing you a favor by hiring you. That mindset makes it really hard to build a business that feels good and pays well. Even with my marketing background, transitioning into entrepreneurship and a creative field was a challenge. Photography is personal. You're creating art, offering a service, and running a business all at once. And without setting your business up properly, it's like running a restaurant with no menu and no prices. Messy, chaotic, and unsustainable. But the good news is you don't have to build your business the hard way. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 3 secrets to building a thriving photography business using Google Ads to consistently book clients who value your work. So grab a notebook, shut down your Instagram for the next 20 minutes, and let's get started. I've always loved being part of the photography community, the creativity, the support, the connection. A while back, I was in an Instagram 52-week pod where you post a creative image each week and cheer each other on. One week, the conversation turned to how hard it was to find good photography clients. I started sharing how I used Google Ads and people were intrigued, but also overwhelmed. Pretty soon, other photographers were DMing me asking for help, and as I watched more and more people through it, I realized this strategy works and it changes lives. Most photographers set the goal of getting more clients. It sounds good, but it's actually a recipe for failure. Did you know that up to 85% of photography businesses fail within the first 2 years? Why? Because more clients at any costs leads to burnout. If you want to build a thriving photography business, you need more than just more clients. You need the right strategy and the right goal, and that's what we're here for today. I'm going to teach you the 3 secrets to grow your photography business with Google Ads. This strategy works, and it's time to stop hustling, stop discounting just to stay busy, and finally start thriving. My hope is that this training inspires you to dream a little bigger and to take your business seriously, because here's the truth. As a photographer, you're going to need a different strategy and a better goal than just getting more clients. That goal by itself can actually hurt your business if it's not done the right way, and that's exactly why we're here today. Before we jump into the 3 secrets, let me give you a little context, because everything you're going to learn today comes from my larger framework, something I call Systems for Success. So what is Systems for Success? It's an approach I created after over a decade of experience, combining my background in marketing and my years as a photographer to help other photographers build a business that's profitable, sustainable, and fulfilling. It's built on 3 interconnected pillars that all revolve around one thing: your ideal client. Pillar number 1, intent-based marketing. This is about showing up for people who are actively looking for a photographer. High-intent leads who are ready to book. Tools like SEO and Google Ads help you meet them at the exact moment they're ready to hire you. Make sure to stick around to the end of this video, because I will show you how to set up your own Google ad the exact way that I set up mine. Last year alone, 70% of my website traffic came from SEO and Google Ads. Google Ads brought me 149 inquiries, and I booked 77 of them for a 51% booking rate. So again, make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. Pillar number 2, a website that converts. A website is your online storefront. It should be easy to navigate, highlight your very best, most intentional work, make it incredibly simple to contact you with clear, bold calls to action. My favorite website tip to share with photographers is to make sure the brand colors you choose complement your editing style and make your photos shine. You would be amazed at the difference this makes in the overall presentation and feeling of your website. Pillar number 3, build an exceptional client experience. From inquiry to delivery, you want every step to feel thoughtful, smooth, and professional. By taking the time to map out your client experience, you are ensuring that you are communicating clearly and concisely at every step. Clarity builds trust, and trust is what leads to confident bookings and repeat clients. I like to think about it this way. Always think about the experience from their perspective. Okay, and at the center of it all is your ideal client. Everything you build, your marketing, your website, your processes need to be designed with that one perfect client in mind. The one who values your work, trusts your expertise, and is happy to pay your rates. When you understand how these pillars work together, everything becomes easier. So let's move on to the 3 secrets to using Google Ads to start building your thriving photography business today. Because these 3 secrets are the reason so many photographers finally start seeing the results they're hoping for. Secret number 1, who you should really be focusing on. Most photographers think they know who their ideal client is, but getting this right is the difference between constantly hustling and building a business that feels effortless. Secret number 2, why most photographers leave money on the table with Google Ads. Google Ads are powerful, but only when they're set up and optimized properly. Most photographers stop too soon and don't let their ads reach their full potential. I'll show you how to fix that. Secret number 3, how to turn website visitors into booked clients. If your website or landing page isn't dialed in, you could be wasting even the best ads. I'll share how to make your site ready to convert high-quality leads into paying clients. After we deep dive into the 3 secrets, I am going to show you step by step how to set up your first Google ad today, so stick around. Let's jump into the first secret, and it's one most photographers completely overlook. Secret number 1, attracting your ideal client. The first secret to building a thriving photography business is focusing on attracting your ideal client. Most photographers think of their ideal client as something like a young mom with 2 kids who likes photography, but that is not the kind of ideal client I'm talking about. My definition of an ideal client is someone who values your work and is willing to pay your prices. Someone who does their research before they reach out. And that last point, a client who does their research, is everything. When a client has done their research, they've already visited your website, seen your style, checked your prices, and decided you're the right photographer for them. Early in my business, I booked a lot of clients who hadn't done any research. They hadn't really looked at my work, they didn't understand my style, and sometimes they showed up expecting something completely different than what I was offering. Those sessions felt harder, and if I'm being completely honest, even a little soul-crushing. There was more explaining, more managing expectations, more friction. Now, most of my clients find me through Google, and when they reach out, they already know what I offer. They've seen my work, they understand my approach, and they're excited to book me, not just any photographer. That changes everything. The booking process is faster, the session feels easier, and those clients are far more likely to come back again. That's the power of attracting clients who have already done their research. Here's the contrast. Most photographers spend hours creating Instagram reels, replying to Facebook posts, like looking for a family photographer under $200, or running mini sessions to fill their calendar. But this strategy attracts price shoppers, not dream clients. Price shoppers care about one thing: the lowest price. They haggle, they ghost you, and they make the experience stressful. You deserve better. When you shift your strategy to attract clients who find you because they've researched you, they already value your work, they trust your process, and they're willing to pay your prices. Everything changes. You save time, you make more money, and you actually enjoy your work again. So now you see why attracting the right client, the client who does their research, is the foundation of your business. But most photographers don't have a marketing strategy in place designed to reach these ideal clients. The next secret tells you not only exactly how to do that, but also how to take their results even further. Now that you know how important it is to focus on your ideal client, let's talk about how to actually reach them consistently and predictably. This is where intent-based marketing comes in. What is intent-based marketing? It's a strategy that focuses on reaching people who are already searching for the exact service you offer. High intent leads who are ready to book. The beauty of intent-based marketing is that you're not interrupting someone's day and hoping they're interested. Instead, you're showing up at the exact moment they're looking for you. In my own business, I use two tools for intent-based marketing: SEO and Google Ads. SEO is the long game. You optimize your website to show up in organic search results. It's very cost-effective, but it can take months to see results. Google Ads is the fast track. You pay per click to show up at the very top of search results immediately for specific keywords. Both are powerful, but today we're going to focus on Google Ads because it's faster to implement and gives you control. Also, you likely know a little bit about SEO and not enough about Google Ads. Now here's why intent-based marketing is so much better than what most photographers do: interruptive marketing. Interruptive marketing, like boosted posts or Instagram ads, pushes your business in front of people who aren't looking for a photographer. Sure, it builds awareness, but it's difficult to convert these leads into paying clients. Instead, intent-based marketing connects you with people who are already doing their research, checking your website, and feel confident reaching out. Intent-based marketing doesn't just bring more leads, it brings better ones. For me, that means fewer emails back and forth, fewer price objections, and clients who are ready to book when they inquire. As a busy mom of 3, that kind of efficiency isn't optional, it's everything. High quality leads who already value my work save me time, save me energy, and help keep my prices high. Now that you see how powerful Google Ads can be, here's the thing. Most photographers don't get these results because they stop too soon. They set up their first Google ad and then walk away. Does it still work? Yes. You'll likely see an increase in traffic and inquiries. Does it bring you better leads than social media? Absolutely. But when you don't optimize your Google ad, you're scratching the surface of what it can really do for your business. Think of it like this. Running a Google ad without optimizing it is like signing up for a gym membership and then only showing up once or twice. You're paying for it, but you're not getting the full benefit. When you take the time to optimize your ad, that's when the magic happens. You save money because you're only paying for the most relevant, high-quality clicks. Your ad starts attracting even better clients, the ones who already know they want to hire you. Google even rewards you with better placement and lower costs because your ad is performing well. Optimization is what turns your ad from a good enough traffic booster into a well-oiled lead generating machine. And the best part, you don't have to figure it out on your own. Instead, in my course, Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads, I walk you step by step through exactly how to optimize your campaigns so your ads are working harder and smarter for you. So yes, you can absolutely set up a Google ad and just let it run. But if you want to get the most out of your investment and fill your calendar with dream clients, optimization is everything. Now, let's move on to our third and final secret, and this one is a big one. Not dialing in your website or landing page before running a Google ad. Here's the problem. So many photographers run ads and send all that high quality traffic right to a generic website that doesn't actually convert visitors into clients. And most photography websites, honestly, they're kind of an echo chamber. They're built for you, showcasing your work, your story, your vibe, but they're not built with a client's journey in mind. Here's why that's a problem. A client clicks on your ad because they're interested, but if your site is hard to navigate, unclear about your pricing or process, or buried under too many galleries, they'll click away. Every time someone clicks away, you're paying for traffic. You're not converting. Google even notices when your landing page isn't performing, which can hurt your ad. When your landing page is optimized, or better yet, designed with conversions in mind, two things happen. More of the people who click your ad actually reach out and inquire, and Google rewards you with lower costs and better placement because your page is more relevant and useful. A well-optimized page speaks directly to your ideal client, shows them the exact next steps to take, and gives them confidence that you're the right photographer for them. And because this is such a crucial piece of making your ad successful, I've included a bonus landing page for photographers inside my course, but only for those who sign up within a limited time period. This guide will walk you through how to make sure your website or landing page is set up to actually convert the clicks you're paying for, so you can book more clients with ease. So many photographers miss this step, but the good news, you can fix it, and when you do, you'll see your Google Ads working the way they're supposed to, consistently bringing you clients who are ready to book. All right, let's quickly recap the 3 secrets we just covered. Secret number 1, who you should really be focusing on. Attracting the right client, someone who values your work, is willing to pay for your talent, and has already done the research, is the foundation of a thriving business. Secret number 2, the power of Google Ads. When done right, Google Ads put you in front of high-intent clients who are already looking for you. But the real magic happens when you optimize your campaigns so your money goes further and your leads are even better. Secret number 3, why your landing page can make or break your ads. Even the best ads won't convert if your website or landing page isn't ready to turn visitors into inquiries. A well-optimized page means higher conversions and even lower ad costs. These 3 secrets work together to help you book more of the clients you actually want without spending all of your time chasing leads or lowering your prices. And just a quick reminder, stick around to the end of this video because next I'm going to walk you through exactly how to set up your first Google ad step by step. You'll see how easy it can be to get started and finally start bringing in dream clients on repeat. Before I show you how to actually set up your first Google ad, I want to share something that surprised me when I first started using Google Ads in my own business. Because yes, they helped me attract more of my ideal clients, but there were also some unexpected benefits I never anticipated, and they completely changed the way I ran my business. So, let me tell you what happened when I implemented Google Ads for the first time. When I first started running Google Ads back in 2019, I expected more inquiries, and yes, that happened almost immediately. But what I didn't expect were the deeper, more personal changes it created in my business and in me. First of all, the confidence shift. Getting consistent, high-quality inquiries from clients who already knew they wanted to work with me was a game changer. No more wondering where my next client was coming from or chasing leads that never panned out. More time back in my life. I wasn't glued to Instagram, scrambling to create reels or responding to Facebook group posts just to drum up business. Instead, I got to choose more sessions or more time with my family, and I actually felt balanced. I was able to raise my prices confidently because I was in demand. More clients who valued my work meant I could finally charge what I was worth, and they were happy to pay. I leaned into who I was as a photographer. Before Google Ads, I was constantly looking outward for cues. What other photographers were doing, what I should offer to attract more clients. And after Google Ads, I focused inward, creating an experience for my clients that felt true to me. And because they were already happy and aligned with what I offer, it deepened their satisfaction too. Google Ads gave me the space to show up as the photographer I was meant to be and to create a business and life I actually loved. Now, before we wrap up, I want to talk about some of the common hesitations photographers have about running Google Ads and why you don't need to let them hold you back, because I know you might be feeling these too. Number one, Google Ads feels overwhelming and tricky. You are absolutely right. They can be. When I first started in 2019, I felt the same way. But after running my ads for years, I've learned exactly what to focus on, what to ignore, and even where Google tries to trick you into spending unnecessary money. That's why I designed my course to demystify everything. It's organized, extremely concise, and shows you step by step what actually works. No fluff, no wasted time. Hesitation number two, the cost. Yes, you're paying to run ads, but here's the thing. You're only paying when someone clicks. It's the most targeted, efficient form of marketing I know. Compared to other industries, our recommended budget is relatively low. I personally spend about $10 a day, which equals roughly $300 a month. And it's the best money I've ever spent. In fact, a few years ago, I paid a Google Ads expert to review my campaign, and he was blown away by the results I was getting on such a small budget. He said his lawyer and doctor clients were spending over $1,500 a month for worse results. Here's how I think of it. If you're priced properly and your Google ad brings you even one client a month, and it usually brings more, it more than pays for itself. It's like putting a $1 bill in a slot machine and getting $5 back. Hesitation number three. What if I try it and it doesn't work? That's a fair concern and one I often hear, but here's the thing. I believe so deeply in what I teach that I make myself available to my students every step of the way. When you join the course, you get access to our private Facebook group for support and answers. And if you ever need help beyond that, you can email me directly, anytime. I truly, truly care about the success of your business. Past students are always blown away by how much support I offer because I know how life-changing this can be when it's done right, and I want it to work for you too. So, now that we've cleared up those, let's talk about how you can take the next steps and implement this strategy for yourself and what's waiting for you inside Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads. Here's the big question I want you to think about. Where will your photography business be 1 year from today? You know the stats, as many as 85% of photography businesses fail within the first 2 years. Why? Because most photographers never set up the right systems, strategy, and have the mindset to actually thrive. But I hope after today's training you feel empowered to change that, to go for the photography business of your dreams. Now, our time here is almost up, but the truth is there's so much more I'd love to teach you about Google Ads and how to make them work for you to connect with your ideal clients, grow your income, and finally feel in control of your business. That's exactly what my course, Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads is designed to do. As far as I know, it's the only program out there specifically created for portrait photographers looking to scale their business with Google Ads. So, before we wrap up, I want to take just a minute to tell you more about what's inside Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads and how it can help you take everything you learned here today to the next level. Let me walk you through what's included and why it's the next right step for your business. Inside Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads, you'll find the step-by-step program I designed specifically for portrait photographers like you. This course is concise and actionable, designed so you can have your first Google ad up and running within a week and fully optimized in 45 days or less. You don't have to spend months guessing, piecing things together, or wasting money while you figure it out. I've done all the trial and error for you and packaged everything into 7 streamlined lessons. The lessons go over how to set up your Google ad the right way so you can reach the clients you actually want to work with. How to create a strong Google business profile that impresses from the very first impression. How to use data tools like Google Analytics and Google Search Console to know what's working. I teach which numbers to watch and what is there just to confuse you. You'll also learn keyword strategies so that you're attracting high-quality leads, not price shoppers. I go over how to write ad descriptions and headlines that are relevant to your photography business. You learn how to actually launch your campaign with the right settings and set a budget without wasting money. And you learn how to manage and optimize your campaign long-term so they keep working better over time. By the time you finish the course, you'll have a Google Ads campaign that runs like a well-oiled machine, bringing in your ideal clients while you focus on what you love most. And because I know how much of a difference this can make in your business, I've also included a few special bonuses for those who join today. Here's the thing. I created Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads to help photographers just like you skip the overwhelm and finally get your business running like the one you've been dreaming about. The course is already affordable at $247 or $49 a month for 6 months. This is way less than what you'd waste trying to figure out Google Ads on your own, or worse, paying $1,500 a month like other industries. But this special offer with all these bonuses and discounted pricing is only available for a limited time. Over the next few days, you'll get a few emails from me reminding you when the offer expires. After that, you can still purchase the course, but the price goes up to $497, and you won't get the private Facebook group for support or the landing page optimization guide, so don't wait. If you want to lock in the lower price and all the bonuses, now is the time to take action. Let's recap what you get when you join today. You get the full Google Ads course, which is concise, actionable, and designed to get your ad up within a week and optimize in 45 days or less. The bonus landing page optimization guide, access to the private Facebook group, and of course, lifetime access and future updates to the course. Click the button below to join, and I'll see you inside the course. And just in case you're still wondering if this is really possible for you, let me show you a few real results from photographers who have already taken this step. I know investing in something new can feel scary, but you don't have to take my word for it. Here's what a few photographers had to say after going through Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads. Nick said, "I just completed the Google Ads course with Lindsay, and it was absolutely amazing. Her insight into how to set up and monitor Google Ads was straightforward, easy to understand, but most of all, a total game changer for my business. I'm only 30 days in and have seen a massive difference in terms of inquiries. I would recommend this course over and over." Brenda said, "This is a straightforward course, very easy to understand and implement. I love how it's specifically directed to photographers." Also, I had some questions after finishing the course, and Lindsay was so helpful and delivered so much more than I expected. I really recommend it. Deidre said, "Lindsay is a veritable fort of knowledge. She knows the ins and outs of running a successful Google Ads campaign, and she actually walks you through the process of setting it up. I was so lost when it came to setting up Google Ads and felt completely daunted anytime I tried to start something. After Lindsay's course, I finally got my first campaign up, and it has brought me so many more quality inquiries that I've had in a long time. I'm feeling super excited about the uptake in business and the future." These are photographers just like you, and their success is proof. And finally, I recently received this email from Amy. "Lindsay, I just wanted to say a quick thank you. I took your Google Ads course this year, and it helped my business grow so much. Through it, I've been able to connect with so many clients who truly value my work and are willing to pay. Not only that, but my husband and I have been talking about relocating to a different state, and I'm not really worried about moving my business because I know Google Ads can help me right away. This strategy works when you know how to use it, so now the choice is yours. Are you ready to stop hustling and finally build a photography business you've been dreaming of? Okay, as I promised, I'm going to walk you through setting up your very first Google ad right now. Here's what you'll need before we dive in. A Gmail account, preferably verified with a Google business profile. A website. You'll need a page for your clients to land on when they click your ad. And finally, a Google Ads account if you don't already have one. Go to adwords.google.com and sign up. It only takes a few minutes and you'll need that Gmail to set that account up. Once you have these 3 things ready, watch the over-the-shoulder video walkthrough I've recorded for you. You'll literally watch me set up an ad step by step so you can follow along and set up yours at the same time. It really is that simple, and you can have your first Google ad up and running today. So go grab your checklist, watch the walkthrough, and let's get your business showing up in front of your ideal clients starting now. And remember, this is just the beginning. Once you're ready to take it to the next level and fully optimize your ads for maximum results, join me inside Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads. Hey you guys, I'm Lindsay Herkert, and I am so excited you're here today to create your first Google ad. Google Ads have made a huge difference in the profitability and sustainability of my photography business, and I hope that you will have the same results. Today, I'll share all my tips and tricks to help you get started so they can make a big impact on your business too. So before we actually set up the ad, there are just a few things I want to show you and go over. And we're going to start with what a Google ad actually looks like. It is right here at the top. You can see this is one of my Google ads and it says sponsored. And that is the only indication that this is a Google ad. If you continue scrolling, you'll see other results that don't say sponsored, and that just indicates that those are organic SEO. I actually show up again with my organic SEO, and I just want to point out how powerful that is to show up twice on Google, once with my ad and then again with my organic SEO. I don't think you're seeing anybody else showing up twice. So something to keep in mind is even if you have fantastic SEO, you're still competing with people who are running ads, and paid ads appear at the very top, so visibility is higher. Another thing I want to say is if you start running an ad and you don't see it immediately, or you look for it by typing in a search term like family photographer near me or your city and then family photographer, and you don't see your ad show up, that is completely normal. Google ads are very powerful, but they don't show up all of the time. Many factors affect how your ad shows, like budget, search volume for your keywords, competition, bidding strategy. I go more into depth about all of this in my course, and you can find the link for my course, How to Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads, up in the top right-hand corner of this video. So anytime you want to click over and read more about that, you are welcome to. But back to what we were talking about, I find that instead of searching manually to measure performance of your Google ad, I actually use Google Analytics. It's objective and data-driven, and this will help you understand how your ad is performing. So analytics and number tracking is something I go deep into in the course so you understand what numbers to pay attention to and not feel overwhelmed. But I do want to skim the surface a little bit today to just drive the point home so you can understand how my ad is working. So I'm just jumping over to my Google Analytics page. And again, this is objective and data-driven, so that's why I like to use it. And you can see right here that my paid search has brought in 260 visitors to my website in the last 30 days. And I have this nifty little tool on my website, and I think this is even more pertinent. It is called, SiteKit, and it pulls in the data from analytics and allows me to look a little deeper. So I am looking here at the numbers for my family photography portfolio page, which is one of the landing pages I use for my Google ad campaign. And you can see that my ad is bringing in, it says paid search, 64% of the visitors on that page. So for me, that's so big. Right now, I'm in the middle of family photography busy season. So this is like my best performing ad in my campaign. And it's bringing in just over 50% of my traffic, which is huge. My ad is bringing me high quality targeted traffic that converts. I am currently definitely in my busiest fall family season that I've ever had. My numbers are up by 28% over last year, and last year was really busy. So my ad I credit it with a lot of my success. Okay, so I just wanted to illustrate that for you so you can understand a little bit how I make sure that my ad is working for me, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't want to be spending that money. So number tracking and understanding the data is so important. And again, that's something I dive deep into the course. Okay, before we begin, I just want to make sure that you have your website up and live. You'll need URLs that will copy and paste for your ad setup. Also ensure you have a Google Ads account set up. And the way you will do that is go to ads.google.com. You'll need a Gmail to create an account and sign up. And once you sign up, you'll get an ID number that is at the top right corner of your Google Ads page. Okay, so those are the things you need. I can't actually tell you the step-by-step instructions on how to set up your Google Ads account. I did it so long ago. If you Google it or ChatGPT it, it will tell you, or just follow the prompts. It should be pretty simple to get going. Okay, another thing I want to mention before we actually start setting up our campaign is over time I've noticed that a few of my students get tricked right off the bat, which is so frustrating. And you'll notice throughout this video, I will be highlighting how not to get tricked by Google, because they definitely over the years have incorporated some tricky things that I think are designed to confuse you and make you spend more money. So I'm just going to highlight things as we move along. So one of the things is when you're first starting out, especially if this is your very, very, very first Google Ads campaign, they'll sometimes default new users into smart campaigns. What we will be building today is a search campaign. Smart campaigns are automated, give you little control, and often waste money. They have a higher ad spend and lower quality traffic. So it's definitely something we want to avoid, and it's super annoying that they default you into this. So to make sure that this doesn't happen to you, when we start, make sure to choose expert mode. This is not something I'll be able to illustrate or show you because I've had my Google ad running for so long, so it's not going to try to do that to me. So as you're starting, just make sure to look for expert mode and choose that. Not smart or not performance max. Choose expert mode, and then from that, you'll choose search campaign. So expert to search. Avoid smart campaign or performance max. Don't you love how they name those? They make it seem like that would be a right option to choose, but it is not. If you accidentally start a smart campaign, you're probably going to have to delete it and just start all over again. So I'm trying to highlight that mistake before you make it. Okay, while we're on the subject of Google and avoiding their tricks, something they've become very aggressive with over the last couple of years is ad expert consultation. They want to get on the phone with you so badly. And the way that you'll see this is a few different things. You'll have little pop-ups pop up on this page, and you can see one right here. I'm just going to close out of it. It says set up an expert consultation. You'll see it. Sometimes it's up here too, near the top. It'll say somebody's name, like, oh, set up your chat with Helena. She will help you, or something like that. That's the first way you'll see it. Another way is you might start getting spam calls from Google. Please just ignore them. You'll get lots of emails like optimize your campaign. Your campaign could be working better for you. Just click here to automate things. Don't. I know this from my own experience. I got on a call with a quote unquote Google Ads expert a couple of years ago, and it completely tore up my campaign, just ruined it. I wasted a ton of money, and it's designed for that. I've also worked with students who started out with a Google Ad expert, and that expert had them spending like $80 a day. It's just nuts. So please don't do that. I don't know, just over the years, I kind of developed this system that I feel like works really, really well for photographers that keeps ad costs relatively low. I have worked with a Google ad coach in the past, and I want to clarify that he doesn't work for Google. It was somebody I sought out who was just knew what he was doing, and he runs other people's campaigns. Again, it isn't through Google. It was somebody that was like a consultant. I just wanted to make sure my Google ad, like I understood what I was doing and how it was running. And he couldn't believe the results I was getting. He said he works with doctors and lawyers who's on like $1,500 a month. So I feel like I just have a really good system that I'm going to share with you today to keep our costs low and our traffic high. Okay, another thing I want to talk to you about today to help you avoid falling into mishap is this little optimization score up here. The first thing I want to emphasize is it has absolutely no bearing on how your ad runs. It doesn't matter. It's there to sort of scare you into applying recommendations. And I'll show you what I mean by that. If you go up here and click it, and you'll see this periodically happen when you jump onto your Google Ads campaign, you'll see the score different each time. And all it's doing is trying to make you apply these recommendations that it suggests. And I can't emphasize this enough. Please, please, please avoid all their recommendations. They make them sound really good. They make them sound like it's something that you want to do. And a perfect example here is create a Performance Max campaign. I mentioned that at the beginning of this video, how they're automated, how they bring you less quality traffic and spend more of your money. So these are very, very tricky. And if I dismiss it, my score goes up. So all the score is saying is that there's recommendations and they are really trying to get you to apply them, but you can also just get rid of them by saying dismiss, and then it just punches your score up. So it's just important to understand that that score has no bearing on your ad. It's just an internal metric, and it's completely tied to these stupid recommendations that would wreak havoc on your ad. So just please dismiss, even if they sound good. Don't follow their recommendations. Okay, so, sorry. Now, if we go to overview, our ad scores up there, okay, optimization score 100%. So technically you could just like completely ignore it, but if you're a person like me that doesn't like to see low scores, just that's how you get it up to 100. Okay, so we're getting very close to actually building your ad, but there's one more thing I want to talk about before we start building the campaign together, and it's the recommended budget and how the budget actually works. So I recommend starting with $10 a day, especially if you are in a city with 1 million people or over. I do think you need $10 a day. If you live in a smaller city, you could probably get away with a little bit less, like $7 a day, but I would plan on $10 a day. So make sure that your photography pricing is high enough to warrant spending that, which is actually equals about $300 a month. So I made an illustration to show you what this looks like. All right, because I just want to be clear that the $300 a month or $10 a day is tied to the overall campaign. So my overall campaign is named Lindsay Herkert Photo Company. Within that campaign, I have 5 ads running, but that $300 a month, it's not like I have $300 a month going toward my family ad, $300 toward my brand ad, $300 toward my senior ad. No, it's only at the campaign level. And then based on various factors, mainly how many people are searching for things, Google decides how much of that budget to put toward each of my ads. So it's divvying up that $300 a month to the different ads. So right now, like I said, I'm in the middle of fall. That is a big time family photography timing in Austin, particularly because of the weather. I used to live in San Diego, and my shooting period for, holiday photos and stuff started much sooner because the weather's more temperate there. But here it's like really impacted in October and November. So my Google Ads goes crazy for family during that time. So I made this range drop bigger because it's eating up more of my budget because more people are searching for family photographers. Now, once this season kind of ends, I noticed that more money from this campaign goes toward my brand ad because it's the beginning of the year and people are looking at vamping up their business and checking off things and, New Year's resolutions. So I noticed that I'm super busy with brands in like January and February. And this raindrop would probably get bigger because more money's going toward that from my ad and less is going to family. The reason I'm talking so much about that is I just want to be clear that I'm not spending $1,500 a month because I have 5 ads running. I'm not spending $300 a month per ad. The $300 a month is tied to the campaign level and is dispersed between those 5 ads. I don't have control over how it's dispersed. That is something that Google just decides based on how many people are searching. Okay, so I hope that is clear, because I want to emphasize, like, I know we all have limited budgets, and so it's so important that this ad money is spent well. I'm very, very cognizant of that. Also, I just wanted to tell you that technically you could have up to 20,000 ads under one campaign, but please don't do that. I have tried over 5, and for me, I think that $10 a day, actually, I am currently at $12 a day, but for years I just did $10 a day. For me, beyond 5 ads, I think that's too many. It just didn't seem to be working. But you can kind of play with that and see what works for you. You could do 1, you could do 2. I really think it's just tied to how many different types of photography you offer. But I have found personally for me, 5 ads is a sweet spot. So that is all I want to say about that. Now we are going to actually build your campaign. Something I would suggest doing is under this video, there is this document right here. And it has screenshots of what we're going to do to build your ad. I suggest just printing it and having it beside you. I think it's helpful to have that because, as you can see, it's just a little bit confusing in here. So having that extra resource, I think, is helpful. So feel free to print that now before we start. Okay, so there's 2 ways to start the campaign. Okay, so we're going to come over here and we're going to click Create with this little plus button. We're going to click Campaign. And something I want to highlight here, I'm probably going to say this twice so it really lands, but the way I view my Google ad is its job is to bring quality traffic to my website. The end. That's it. The job of my website is to convert that quality traffic. And when I say convert, I mean have those people that have visited my website fill out a lead form or an inquiry form or reach out to me. It's really important to me that you understand that those 2 things are connected, but there's 2 different compartments. So with that, our campaign objective is website traffic. So we choose that. In the past, I have chosen leads, but leads are tricky because then you need to create a conversion. And then Google uses that information to push you to spend more money. So I have found that website traffic works better as the objective and keeps it cleaner and more pertinent. Okay, this next part is conversion goals. Now, conversion goals do not affect how your ad works. They are simply there for reporting. Now, at the beginning, I talked about how I measure success of my ad and I use Google Analytics. I don't want reporting from my Google ad because, again, I feel like it's subjective and it tries to nudge me to do things I don't want to do. So I view this whole thing as just junk. So I just choose the account default. Yours might look different than mine, but I don't want you to worry about this section very much because, again, it's just used for Google's reporting. I get emails about it. I do not pay attention to them. Delete, 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 because I use analytics because that's just objective, data-driven reporting. Okay, so just skip this part if you can. If they make you choose a goal, just choose account default and don't pay any attention to that. Okay, so now we select a campaign type. We're going to click search. And okay, now this is where you want your website pulled up. And you just want to go to your homepage of your website. And I copy and paste the URL. Technically, you could type it in, but I just feel like I don't want any mistakes. So I always copy and paste whenever a URL is involved with my Google ad campaign. You can name your campaign. My campaign is named Lindsay Herkert Photo Company. So I suggest naming it your company name. I'm just going to write sample video on here today because we're just doing a sample video. This next part that pops up, it shouldn't pop up for you. The only reason it pops up is because I've done so many videos that I haven't published. Okay, let's see. What do you want to focus on? This is important. This does affect how your campaign runs.
So again, our objective is website clicks, people visiting our website. So you want to click clicks. Then you want to set a maximum cost per click bid amount. I suggest setting it at $2. My average cost per click, or CPC, is about $1.11. Setting it at $2 gives room for bidding flexibility. And I just want to emphasize, remember, you only pay when someone clicks your ad, not when it's shown, not for impressions. So this makes Google Ads one of the most targeted, efficient types of advertising there is. It's so amazing to me. So anyway, choose clicks here and put $2 here. I feel like that gives plenty of room, and you should be under $2. Your average should end up being under $2, but $2 gives it plenty of room. You can skip this part. Okay, this is one of Google's trickiest tricks. It says recommended, it has it checked. I want you to uncheck both of these things. The way I like to explain this is we're all photographers, and if we have our camera set on green or automatic, it's going to take the data out there and make the best picture that it can. But if we set it to manual mode and we control the data, we can create a much better photo. So basically what this is doing by unchecking these boxes is setting this in manual mode and saving you a ton of money. Super important. Okay, this is another thing I love about Google Ads is targeted reach. So right here, this is super important. We are going to enter another location. We're going to say advanced search. We're going to click on radius. And here I want you to enter your home address. I am not going to advertise my home address right now. I'm going to put in our state capital address just because it's a public place, but I want you to put in your home address. And then make sure that whatever you wrote right there populates down here. This is interesting. I used to have my radius set for 60 miles around my house, but then I learned that that actually disperses and waters down my budget. The bigger the radius, the more it's costing you. And then I really started thinking about it. If I'm reaching people that are 60 miles away from my home, that could actually mean like a 2-hour drive for me. And that is not smart business sense. So I actually recommend keeping this around 20, maybe going up to 30, depending on how far you're willing to drive. But just remember, the bigger the radius, the more your budget is dispersed. There is another way to do this that I go over in the course, but using the radius, I find is best way. So that's all I'm going to go over here today. So then we just want to click this and save. And I want you to double check and make sure that it populates into this section right here. Okay. Another trick, it's hidden. I want you to click location options. Don't you love how they just try and trick you all the time? So it's defaulted to this, and it even says recommended. But what this means is that if somebody, okay, I live in Austin, if somebody in China was looking up family photography, it's possible that my ad could show up to them and they could click on it. And then I've just wasted ad money because it's saying presence or interest in regular, or who've shown interest in your included locations. So this is just a waste of money because you don't want your ad showing to people that aren't likely to book you. So just choose this instead, and then we save money. Okay, English or whatever is the correct language for you. I do want to highlight really quick. I had a student ask once if she was in Barcelona and she was advertising to try and reach tourists that wanted photography taken, but also locals. And she asked me, like, should she have English and Spanish? But you would actually have to I would suggest running 2 separate campaigns if you are targeting 2 separate languages. Otherwise, you would have like a Spanish ad showing up to English speaking people and vice versa, and it would be ineffective. So definitely if you are trying to target 2 different languages, you would need 2 different campaigns set up. Skip this part, just say no. Skip the audience segments, but I do want you to click more settings. This is really important. Okay, so it says ad rotation, optimize, prefer best performing ads. This sounds really good, but it's actually horrible. So you definitely want to check that. Oh my gosh, look, they make this so difficult. Do not optimize, rotate ads indefinitely. And the reason is like I've said, right now, my family ad is performing best. Well, based on that data, if I had the optimization clicked, then it would only show my family ad. That's it. And the reason I know is this happened to me. I was thinking, I'm like, I am not getting any branding inquiries. And even though I get mostly family inquiries right now, I still get newborn inquiries and branding inquiries because people are still searching for that, just not in as high of numbers as family. But if you have optimized, then it's only going to show your best performing ad and you won't get those other inquiries. So it seems counterintuitive, but definitely check do not optimize, rotate ads indefinitely. Let me see. I think that's all we need there. Yeah, that's all you need to do there. Okay, click next. I want you to skip this. Optimize your campaign with AI Max. It does not do a good job. Okay. So, keyword and asset generation. Okay, at this point, we are moving from setting up our campaign to actually setting up our first ad. So up until this point, we've been working on the umbrella part. Now we're going to set up our first ad. For this video, I'm going to set up a family ad. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is keywords, and keywords are so important. It's one of the most important pieces of the actual ad, I think. You kind of have to think of them as like the workhorse of your ad. They are the bridge that connect what clients are searching for to what you're offering. I'm going to say that again. Keywords are the bridge connecting what clients are searching for to what you're offering. So it's really important to take time and choose words that truly reflect how people search for you, the language your ideal client uses. So the general rule is we think of 10 to 20 keywords. Back in the day, it used to be something like 60 keywords, but Google has shifted and now it values intent and relevance over keyword quantity, which is wonderful. So you definitely want at least 10, but no more than 20. So in my course, I give you multiple ways to research and choose your keywords, and I even give you some keywords to start with. But for this video today, we're just going to have Google Ads help us generate some keywords just by clicking generate. And it does this by going on your website, and you can also add in products right here. So remember, I'm working my family photography ad. So even though it pulled in newborn, because I offer newborn photography, I'm not working on that ad right now. So I don't want those type of keywords. It's very, very important to have each one of your ads very specific in keywords. So I don't want my family ad attracting newborn clients. I would set up a separate ad for newborn clients. It works better to have each ad very targeted and very relevant. So I'm just going to update my keyword suggestions, but it's still pulled in newborn. So I would go through and get rid of that. I'm just going to say this right here because it pulled up the word cheap. And the word cheap or inexpensive or anything like that is not on my website anywhere. And this is why I don't really trust Google. I don't want to attract price shoppers through my Google ads at all. Look at how many times they put newborn. Oh my gosh. It's like they barely pulled in family. Ugh. Anyway, I would go through and have, 10 to 20 pertinent, very specific keywords. And I would use this to start, see what it generates, and then just kind of go through and do what you think is best. Okay, so that's the keyword part. Then this is the final URL. This is so important. Right now, it has my main website, like my homepage, my landing page. But what I'm going to do is go up to my website and click on the landing page that I want people to land on. I don't want them to land on the homepage of my website. I want them to land on my family page. So I'm going to do that. That's really, really important. It makes your ad more relevant. You want them to come, they're searching for information. So you want the landing page they land on to give them the most pertinent information for the ad. So I have them land on my family photography page. And remember at the very beginning of the video, I showed you with Google Sitekit how many people had come to my family page through my Google ad. Well, this is how I get them there. This display path, I'm just going to write in family and then photography. All it does is change the slug. So on the ad, it just shows right here, lindsayherkert.com and then family photography. it just keeps it clean and simple and keyword relevant. So I do think it's a good idea to change the display path that works with your ad. However, whatever word, like 2 words that can keep it more specific, choose those 2 words. Okay, now we are at the headlines. And the headlines, you get 15 headlines with up to 30 characters each. Google randomly mixes and matches 2 to 3 headlines to display in your ad. So the headlines are here. I suggest, and again, I go deeper into how to do this and some tips and tricks in my course, but I suggest looking at your website language and making sure whatever headlines you choose match the type of language that is on your website. So, because we just want it to be clean and clear and streamlined, and that people, when they click through, know that they're on the right page. So it should all connect. So my strategy for headlines is the first one that I write is my company name. Google has generated some based on my website, and it did not do a great job. The Herkert Photo Company. So that's the first one that I write. And I do want to say something really quick right here. I have seen students kind of just write in lowercase and uppercase and not have it like clean and clear. Make sure this looks good, because it's representing you. So my suggestion is making sure the first letter of each word is capitalized and just looks pretty. You cannot capitalize all the letters. Like I couldn't have Lindsay in all caps. The only thing that I've been able to get away with in all caps is ATX because it's like Austin, Texas. So, and you can't use emojis or anything like that. Okay, back to my strategy. So with these 15 headlines, what I suggest is the first one is your company name. The next 5 are keyword focused headlines. For example, Austin family photographer, ATX family photographer, natural light family photos, outdoor family photography, lifestyle family sessions. So I would use like 5 keyword focused headlines. The next 5, I would use more descriptive, emotive headlines. And it's important that these in particular match, again, your website copy. So if you are playful, bright, use words like that. If you're emotive and moody, use words like that. Clean, colorful, candid imagery, authentic family connection, things like that. Radiant, raw, emotive. Those are the words you're looking for. Okay, and then the last 4 headlines, I would focus on call to action headlines like book your session today, inquire now for fall dates, let's capture your story, reserve your spot day, things like that. So that's how I would fill each of these 15 headlines. And again, Google chooses 3 at random. We don't have control over that. I shouldn't say that. You are able to pin a headline and you can choose the position. So, but then like if I pinned that, then Lindsay Herkert Photo Company would always come up in the first position and then second position. So you can say where you want each of the headlines if they are chosen. That is something I actually haven't really played with. I'm not really too concerned about it. I think that Google does a good enough job choosing where to put them. But I would just say make sure to use variety. Don't make all your headlines sound the same. Kind of play around with that and use your website as you're starting. Okay, now we are on descriptions. And you can see descriptions show up right here. You write 4 descriptions and Google chooses one to put in your ad. Each description you have up to 90 characters, so there's a little more wiggle room in these versus your headlines. And my overall strategy for descriptions is thinking of it in like 2 to 3 sentences. So I think of them each one in 2 to 3 sentences. So the first sentence I use, or I focus on like my company name or credibility, like Lindsay Herkert, award-winning photographer. Then I try to incorporate after that a keyword like Austin family photographer, natural light photographer. Then I also try to incorporate something emotional or descriptive like capture joy and timeless memories. And then I end it with book now or inquire today. So the call to action. So it's kind of like, if you think about the headlines that we just did, it's like incorporating 3 headlines or 4 headlines into one small, teeny tiny paragraph. So I would so with each of these, try to incorporate a keyword, some sort of description, some sort of call to action, and also something that bumps you up, something that gives you credibility, like highly reviewed, award-winning, professional, something like that. It gives you like, just a little bit of a push. So that's how I write the descriptions. Okay. Now, this is confusing. After you finish your keywords, your URL, your 15 headlines, and your 4 descriptions, you are back at the campaign level. So we're back in the umbrella again. So we just made our specific family ad, and now we are back in the umbrella. So we're in the images part. This part can trip people up. I know it sounds weird, but what I want to emphasize is that Google Ads are text-based. They are not image-based. Yes, sometimes an image can show up next to an ad, but not all of the time. And something I've seen with my students is that some of them, if this is their first time using a Google ad, they'll have like image delays. Google won't let them show an image. I think it might be 30 or 60 days. Like it kind of puts them on I don't know. It's weird, but not everyone, but some people just have like a 30 to 60 day image delay. So what I suggest is if you can add images, do it. If you can't yet, then just come back to your ad. Don't panic about it at all. It's not that big of a deal. So the way it works is each campaign has an asset library of 20 images. I suggest that one of those images is your logo, and I also suggest that one of those images is a headshot of you. So now we're down to 18 images. The way that I would do it is figure out how many ads you're going to have. For example, I have 5 ads, and then think like, how many photos do I want for each of those ads? If I had 20 images and I divided it up equally, it would be 4 images each for each ad. But now I'm down to 18 because I added my logo and my own headshot. So 2 ads are just going to have 3 images. And then you just put them all in your image library. So try to choose images that are different and eye-catching. For example, this one right here, this little boy being held up in the air, is definitely different and eye-catching. Make sure your images reflect the words that you have used. Like if you have used the words bright and playful, try to choose images that are bright and playful so everything's congruent and working together. I will tell you that Google is very, very strict about naked imagery. So like naked babies, it won't allow, and that's, the right thing. So with newborns, just make sure that you're careful with what you choose. Otherwise, it'll come back and say you can't use it. So first you fill your library, and then you can choose, like for my family ad, I can choose 4 images. I'm going to choose 4 images because I want to use 4 for my family ad. And those would go in my family ad. Okay. Then you write your business name right here. You upload, or you'll click on this and you grab your logo from your campaign library. Okay, now we're at the site links part. We're almost done. Thank you for hanging on. Okay, so site links are these little things right here. They're look like little buttons right under the description part of your ad. And remember, they're at the campaign level, so you want to keep them generic, not ad specific. Some ideas might be like contact, and then would link to your contact page. I'm just going to click through so you can see what it looks like. So Google will show up to 4 site links if somebody's looking on their desktop, or it will show 2 if they're looking on their mobile. And you can add up to 20 that Google just randomly chooses and rotates. So you could have like book your session. You could add more information about it. And right here, you'll see the character limit. And then you have the landing page linked where you want them to land. So if I said, book your session, then I have my contact page linked right here. So it's very simple. I do want to talk you through a few ideas. Like if you have a styling page or an FAQ page, or if you offer print products, you can have pages like that. If you have like some kind of promotion, like if they sign up for your newsletter, they get $25 off or something like that, you could have them land on that page. The one page that I would have you think through if you want to link it or not is price page. Now I am like super open about my pricing on my website, and everything is on there. All the information on my pricing is on there and very clear. However, I don't want to advertise based on pricing. I want people to come to my website, see my work, see my reviews, understand who I am as a photographer, and then go to pricing. I don't want to pull them in based on pricing. I'm not inexpensive. I don't like advertise cheap photography. So I wouldn't want to pull someone in based on pricing. So I just want you to think through if you want pricing advertised. I do recommend having it on your website and available, but I just don't know if that's how you want to advertise who you are as a photographer. So that's just something to think about. Okay, we are almost there. Callouts. You can add up to 16 short callouts. Google rotates across campaigns. And I don't even think it's showing. Let's see. So basically, again, keep them at the campaign level and benefit oriented. So if you're like an award-winning photographer, you could say something about that. Maybe fast turnaround times, stress-free sessions, book now, limited dates. Another idea for this, I'm just going to click this to see where it puts it. Oh, it puts it right after description. So I'm sort of indifferent to these. I guess the one thing I would say is if you are going to spend the time to do these, I might look through my Google reviews and look for patterns of what people are saying about me and maybe highlight or call them out right here. You could even put them in quotation marks, I think. Let's see if it lets us do that. Easy to work with. I can't spell. Sorry. Yes, it does. It gives you like the ability to put little quotes. So that might be a really good way to use call outs and draw people's eye to your ad. That's how I would use them. But remember to keep it at the campaign level in general and not specific to your ad because they will be chosen and pulled at random from Google. Okay. Let's say don't save. Let's see. More asset types. Okay. I don't really do a lot of these. If you're running a promotion, you can put in the information right here. That is tricky because you just have to remember to come in and update it after your promotion is done. Like don't say spring mini sessions or something like that and forget about it and then it's fall. Then it makes your ad look really lame, like you're not on top of things. I've already talked about what I think about pricing and advertising it, so I would not do that. It's just a personal preference. You have to think how you have your business set up and your own strategy. But I just like to share my strategy to help you think through yours. Calls. I do have my phone number listed, as you can see there. I think it's good because it shows that I'm available and reachable. However, I do get a lot of, spam, and I think that is connected to my Google ad. I typically don't answer my phone when it has this number show up, which is, my work number. I let people leave messages because really a lot of times it is a spam call. However, I like that it shows that I'm available. So that's why I would suggest having a number right there if you want to. Definitely a personal preference. Structured snippets. I don't know. I think this gets to be a lot. The one thing I wanted to highlight is you can add lead forms, like where somebody fills out a form. And this, in theory, sounds good, but here's what I want you to think through. It requires a connector, like an outside connector, like Zapier or something like that, which adds a cost and a little bit of complexity. And I do feel like having a form tends to attract low intent clients that are going to ask for things like, what's your pricing? Because you're not forcing them to go to your website. They're able to contact you without doing the work, the research. And I always say, I feel like well-researched clients are your best clients. So I did have a lead form connected for a hot minute. And then I realized, no, that's not, I don't want people to connect with me that way. Again, you have to think through your strategy and what works for you. I just like to put this information out there so you can kind of think through, how this will all work for you. Remember that your goal is qualified traffic to your website, and then a form being filled out. Okay, here is locations. This is connected to your Google business profile. I am a huge proponent of filling out your Google business profile. That is something completely separate than your Google ad. If you don't have it filled out, I would highly recommend Googling it and getting that done. It kind of anchors you in the whole Google ecosystem. It helps Google understand your service area and your business details. And one of my favorite things about it is it appears objective. It appears as if Google filled it out, but you really have control over that information. I do go into a very deep dive on the Google Business Profile in my course, how to set it up effectively. So I just want you to know that. Of course, you can do it on your own. I just highly suggest doing that. So your location is tied to your Google Business Profile. Okay, so I think that is it. We're going to say done. Okay, here's your budget. Of course, their recommended budget is $30 a day. Obviously, no. So you want to set a custom budget right here of $10 a day. I'm not going to press next because then it would publish, and I don't want to publish. But that's basically the end of the ad. So from here, you have set up your campaign and you have set up one ad. Like for the example, I used the family. Okay, I'm just going to head back. Let's pretend I just published and now my ad is running. The next thing I would do, and I would do it right after, I would come back here and click Ad Group. And then I would select the campaign that I just made. And then you'll recognize where it puts you. You've already made your campaign, and I know this has been a long video, but adding a second ad group will not take that long. And it's just better to do it like right away. So I just made my family ad. Now I'm going to make my newborn ad. And I'm just going to click next, and you'll see it'll have you enter the keywords for your newborn ad, your headlines, your URL, and your descriptions. And then you would just select images from your asset library. And then you're done. So it's super fast. Once you've done the work of making the campaign, all you're doing is adding in the ads, and it's really, really fast. Actually, while we're here, I just wanted to tell you this ad strength here, don't pay attention to it. Do not worry about it. It's an internal metric. It isn't relevant to your ad. So if you don't get like a complete circle or an excellent ad strength, if you just have like good or average, that is fine. Don't worry about this at all. Okay. So, leave. All right. So that is it. But I do want to say that for the first 30 days, your ad is like learning about you and it's gathering data. Google is studying your ad's performance and clicks and traffic. And then after 30 days, I suggest optimizing your ad. Optimization refers to refining your ad based on what's working and what's not. And by optimizing, you end up saving money, you improve click quality, you increase conversions, and you're teaching Google exactly what to prioritize. This is something that I go deep into in the course. I show you exactly how to optimize your ad, but you have to wait 30 days because Google has to collect that data. So I just wanted to put that out there. Can you just do exactly this and run your ad, and will it bring you traffic? Yes. If you take it to the next step and optimize it, you will see a massive difference in the quality of your leads and the cost of your ad. And it truly does exactly what it says. It optimizes it. So my course also teaches you how to write even stronger click-worthy headlines and descriptions and choose the most effective high intent keywords. It comes with a long list of good keywords that I have taken a long time to curate. It also teaches you how to properly connect and read Google Analytics data. I teach you what to pay attention to up here and what these numbers should be. Up here, the CTR and your CPC and your impressions and your clicks. I teach you how to set up your Google Business Profile for maximum ad performance and tie all your Google tools together so every dollar is used wisely. So again, the course information and sign up is located in the top right of this video. If you have any questions about the course, please feel free to reach out. But I just want to congratulate you. I know this video is long and the Google Ads platform is a little bit confusing and overwhelming, but I hope that you feel more confident today after watching this video. I do suggest maybe watching it twice. It's a lot to take in the first time. So if you need to, watch it and then watch again to make sure you understood everything. But I'm so excited for you, and thanks so much for being here.
Okay, I hope you found that walkthrough super helpful, and congratulations, you just took a really big step toward changing the trajectory of your photography business. Will it work? Yes. Can it work better? Absolutely. If you're interested in dialing in your ad even tighter, having ongoing support for your questions, and most importantly, optimizing your ads so your money is being spent on the best highest quality leads possible, don't wait. Sign up today and take advantage of my special pricing and bonuses for Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads. Join the growing number of photographers whose businesses are thriving the right way. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. Here's what you get when you join today. The special pricing of $247 or 6 payments of $49, regularly $497, the landing page optimization guide for photographers, and access to the private Facebook group for support and community, as well as lifetime access for all future updates. This offer is only available for a few days. After that, you can still buy the course, but the price goes up, so don't wait. Start building the photography business you've been dreaming of. You've got this, and I can't wait to see your business thrive. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It means the world to me that you're taking your business and yourself seriously enough to invest your time and energy here. You've already taken the first big step toward building the thriving photography business you deserve. Now it's time to decide. Will you keep hustling and hoping, or will you take action and set yourself up for success with a proven system that works? Don't forget your special pricing and bonuses for Grow Your Photo Biz with Google Ads are only available for a limited time. When you're ready, just click the link below to join me and the other photographers already transforming their businesses. As always, if you have any questions, just email me. I'm happy to help you every step of the way. You've got this, and I can't wait to cheer you on as you grow your business. Thanks again, and I'll see you inside the course.